YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad to have you guys here. Today, I'm gonna spill the tea on why I got veneers. I feel like this is a video that I didn't even want to do to begin with because I was just like, I'm not doing this for anyone but for me. At the same time, I know this video can be extremely helpful to people that are maybe considering getting veneers, considering getting Invisalign, all that good stuff. A while back, you guys saw me post on my YouTube channel that I was starting my Invisalign journey. Cue video here. Guess what? Today is the day I get Invisalign. Your little situation needs to go away. They gave me a really cute little tray. The question is later on tonight, will my mouth hurt? Will my gums hurt? Will I have to actually use the oral gel? Second day of Invisalign. I'm gonna be religious about this because I literally don't want to ever have to go through this type of situation again. Please spit and please don't get stuck. And that was like last year, August 2021, when I was like, okay, I'm gonna do the Invisalign journey. I'm gonna get my teeth fixed for my wedding. My smile's gonna be perfect, that whole thing. And as much as I wanted to be an Invisalign girly, I have to admit, I ended up not being an Invisalign girly very, very quickly after I started Invisalign. This whole video, basically, I just want to jump into my entire thought process about why I got veneers, why it was a good fit for me, what are the pros and cons, what did I like about Invisalign, what I didn't like about Invisalign, and like how I ended up here with this like perfect, beautiful smile that you're seeing today. So in hopes that it will help you guys if you are deciding whether you want to do the Invisalign route or the veneer route, because I've actually done both. Before we hop into the video, make sure that you like and subscribe so we can get into the video and keep bringing you back this amazing content that you guys be messing with. I want to take it back to when I was a child, a baby, when I first had braces. I think a lot of us, when we were younger, we had braces in like middle school, high school. It was just a normal thing. In fact, I feel like I begged my parents for braces at one point because I thought all the cool kids had braces and they had like the rubber bands with the different colors. In 8th grade, I actually got braces. And I had braces for 1 year. By the time I was done with braces, my smile was pretty straight. However, my bottoms were straight. But if you look at my before photos, my bottom teeth have always had crowding. They've always had misalignment. And even when I had my teeth straight after my braces, one tooth sat higher than all of my teeth. And it was always this like insecure of this like one tooth that just literally was grinding my gears. So of course, like many of us growing up, I didn't wear my retainer. My parents paid all this money for braces and they were always like shaming me like, we spent all that money and your teeth went back to exactly how they were. Like we've all been through it. In fact, I don't even think they should give kids braces. I feel like braces, honestly, unless it's like really affecting like your dental health, shouldn't happen until you're an adult. And like parents should stop buying this thing for their kids because your kids half the time will not do what you need them to do unless you're like on top of them every single day. I'm 1 out of 5. My parents didn't have time to tell me every night, put in your retainers. That was not, like it was very independent in my household growing up. So I just didn't wear it and my teeth went right back to what it was. If you think about like my life and my career, I went into news broadcasting. I was a theater kid. I was always performing. I was a news broadcasting major. I always had a camera on me. This has just been like a thing that I feel like my teeth have always just been there. Kind of like a little bit of a cloud of like, if I give in to this insecurity all the way, I'm not gonna do anything. Obviously, I didn't choose to just like be shy and melt into this hole because I was super insecure about it. I've prevailed. I've done plenty of videos. You guys know I'm an influencer, all this stuff. My teeth never held me back from anything, but in my mind, I was always watching these videos like, oh, I wish that one thing was just like fixed. Like I'm so animated, but this like one thing is just so in my face to the point where I'm not thinking about anything else. Fast forward, I get into college, I become a news broadcasting major, and then I leave the camera world for a while. I go into corporate America. So honestly, in corporate America, I didn't think about my teeth much. The pressure and like the reality of it being a necessity for me wasn't really there because I wasn't on camera a lot. I wasn't reviewing footage every single day or anything. When I got into this job in the pandemic and started recording myself and started speaking to the camera and all these things, it was like, it never left me. Like it was just a reminder of every time like, why does it look like that? Or like, why is it so, this is so aggressive? Or like, this is a hygiene problem in general. The crowding and everything was like a dental problem. Like I was having, my dentist was like, hey, there's so much crowding here. Like this isn't even good for like cavities, for buildup, all this stuff. Like you need to get this fixed eventually. So of course I always look into what's the natural way to fix something, right? And so I went and saw my dentist and they recommended, like, you have great teeth, but I feel like you need to just do Invisalign first. You need to try Invisalign because if you have the patience for Invisalign, we can really fix your smile. In the back of my head, I'm like, I already did the braces thing. And when I came out of braces, I still had that one tooth that was like above all my teeth and it was still affecting me regardless. Like it still didn't look as perfect as I wanted it to. And I like spent all those years in braces. So I was like, I don't know if that's really what I want to do. But you're telling me that Invisalign is going to do this. You're telling me you can fix my teeth up after I get my Invisalign, fix them up and make them look spanking new. Let's do it. So you guys know my last YouTube video about my teeth was me getting Invisalign. Got Invisalign. I was so excited. I was like, I got this. Dr. Marvin Boleyn, I'm gonna wear my Invisalign every single day, 24/7. Optimistic about it. Like I was like, I got this. I'm very disciplined. You guys know I'm very disciplined. You have to be disciplined in my job regardless. So I felt like I was disciplined enough for Invisalign. First couple weeks with Invisalign were great. I was like, oh, this is no problem. As I continue to wear my Invisalign, first of all, the pain when you're switching between trays, no one talks about that. It's pretty intense sometimes to the point where you need to take Advil. Secondly, because of my job, I had to take my Invisalign out every time I was filming because I talked super funny and it was just driving me crazy that I was constantly thinking about it. So I would take it out when I'm filming. You're taking it out every single time you eat. Listen, I'm a snacker, okay? Invisalign can make you lose weight, honestly, because like you only are going to eat during your designated meal times with Invisalign because you're like, snacking, no, it's not worth it. I have to take my Invisalign out, I have to brush my teeth, put my Invisalign back in. Like, it's a lot of moving parts. In addition, you gotta make sure you're carrying your Invisalign case everywhere because you gotta put your Invisalign in something. People make the mistake, oh, I'll just put it in some tissue. And then that tissue gets thrown out and their tray gets thrown out, which happened. The whole thing was just really not fitting into my lifestyle. At the time I was doing Invisalign, I was also preparing for my wedding, which is why I wanted to get Invisalign to fix my teeth before my wedding. I was on this crazy diet plan. I was basically intermittent fasting. So I was eating all these small meals. So it's not working with like my health journey at the same time. So like I was just bad. Like let's just say it, it wasn't for me. I probably could have done it at some point, but my patience was honestly lacking. And I will truly admit that my patience was lacking and I was like, I want this to be fixed. And I've tried the Invisalign thing and I hate it. I have no problems with my upper teeth. As you can see in photos, they were fine. They were great. My upper teeth, I'm very confident. It's just this lower section of my mouth that I just need to do something about. So I went back to Dr. Marvin Boleyn and I was like, hey, I really messed up on the Invisalign. That appointment, it was just like tragic, honestly, because I was like, I blew it. I'm sorry. You're seeing me after my wedding. My teeth still look the same. I let you down. But I really think I still want veneers. After I admitted to him what I had done, my bad behavior, he was like, okay, to be honest with you, when it comes to veneer situation, we want the teeth to be as straight as possible because veneers are easier when your teeth are at least somewhat straight because that means they have to do less shaving to the tooth. I knew like my situation, the crowding that I had, it was kind of risky, right? Like the reality of it is we could shave too much of the tooth and have to get a root canal. A root canal is not the end of the world. It's very much a normal procedure that dentists do all the time, right? Root canal is not like a crazy procedure, but I knew that was a risk like going into it. He basically took pictures of my teeth, walked through what my smile would look like, what it would look like from the top, bottom. He showed me because they have these really cool machines that like scan your teeth and then they like show you where you're gonna go in the future. It's actually really, really cool. The technology with dentists, I mean, it is top notch these days. Back in the day, we used to have like the thing where you bite into it and it's like all this like stuff in your mouth and you're like drooling everywhere. No, they don't do that anymore. They have like machines with like cameras and they just stick it in your mouth and it takes the whole graphic of your mouth. Listen, much different back in my day when I was growing up. So I was impressed with the technology. So they're doing this whole thing. They show me where my teeth is gonna go. He shows me what my teeth would look like with veneers and he's like, I will make sure that this is a procedure that I feel confident in before I say this is good for you. Came back to me with great news and he was like, I can do this for you, no worries. Want to warn you, you might have to get a root canal on that one tooth because I may shave it down and it may affect the nerve of the tooth. So I knew that going in. So I scheduled my procedure. As far as cost wise, to let you guys know, the procedure was around $13,000 for just bottom veneers. So So that's just the bottom. That's including everything that they had to do from like the teeth whitening. So they actually whiten your teeth during that. That's for the actual bottom veneers itself. That's for insurance that I have on my teeth over the next couple years. So in case anything happens, they chip, they will replace them. Covers like the guard that I have to wear at night to keep them all straight, which, okay, I'm an adult now, so I'm gonna do better. I basically then scheduled my appointment. So I went in, I had like my pre-op where they explained to me, like, do you wanna go down for this or do you wanna be awake? Personally, I don't ever want to be awake for anything. I was awake when my wisdom teeth were taken out, and that was traumatizing. Okay, to have people in your mouth pulling your teeth out while you're awake, whether you can feel it or not, you can still feel the like movement. There's no pain, but the like aggressiveness in your mouth, like I never wanted to be there again. So I was like, I just don't think I should be awake for this because I know that they're going to be shaving down my tooth. So imagine being in like a nail salon and they're using the drill on your nails. You know how sometimes your nails get kind of hot? And you're like, that's exactly what veneers is, essentially. Like they're gonna take the same type of tool that they would take for your nails. They're gonna do the same thing to your teeth. So you're gonna hear like that, and that to me was like a hard pass. I was like, no, I do not want to hear someone grinding down my teeth. It's not for me. I know a lot of people stay awake during their veneer procedure. I never wanted to hear anything. They don't put you down on like anesthesia. They put you down on like a pill essentially. So it's not like you're going under to the point where you're like gonna wake up and be like completely different person and your friend can record you and giggle. No, it's the type where you wake up and you're like, damn, I took a good nap. Get me home. It's that kind of vibe. So I decided that then during our pre-op, and then they had like this gum paste that they basically put on my gums to prep me for this procedure. And that was really it. Day of, basically walked in at 8 a.m. I got there, I wore all my comfy clothes, and then basically they were like, okay, here's your pill. We started with the teeth whitening, and then they had basically something that goes over your nose that kind of has like laughy gas essentially. So it doesn't put you down, but it kind of keeps you like loopy and like you're a little bit more calm and relaxed. So I had that, and then literally they sat me in the teeth whitening. Guys, it's the last thing I remember. I don't remember nothing else. Like I was sitting with my teeth getting whitened and then gone. The next time I wake up is I hear Dr. Marvin Bolen's voice being like, you did great, sweetie. And I'm like, did I? And my mouth was fine. Like actually my mouth was not like in pain or anything. He was just like, just want to do a couple bites. I'm going to make sure your bite is good. Everything was good. You were great. Everything went well. So like, I'm just giddy, and I'm getting my like temporary veneers, because first you're going to get your temporary veneers, which is basically just one solid piece. When you get veneers, you get individual teeth that go over your teeth. So when you get your temporaries, it's actually just one piece of like, it's actually hard plastic. People don't know that's what it's made out of, but it's made out of like hard plastic, and it sits in your bottom. So they like secure it down. You have this one piece. So the back of it is super smooth. It almost feels like you're wearing like a bottom retainer. They send you out like that. So you're gonna be wearing those temporaries for like 2 to 3 weeks, you know? Very scared with my temporaries. Like these things cannot come out because I never wanna see my gremlin teeth. Something about, and I know I'll see them one day because maybe a veneer pops out occasionally. It happens, okay? I'm ready for that day. But I don't ever wanna see my gremlin teeth if I don't have to, because I know they're gremlin teeth, okay? I know what veneers are. I'm aware. I was very, very like nervous about my temps. My teeth were a little bit sensitive from the whitening, and I've already experienced that kind of sensitivity because I've had my teeth whitened before. It's like the Zoom whitening. If you've ever done that, it's a little bit sensitive to like cold and hot stuff. So I was like, that was normal to me. But I did feel weird because it felt like for a second, okay, this smoothness, this like kind of feeling is different, right? My husband picked me up for this one and I just passed out. He had like all the pillows and everything, and I just like went in the car and I was just like, and I went to sleep, came home, watched a whole bunch of TV shows. I was actually fine, had some soup and stuff, and it was good. Next day, woke up, I was a little bit loopy from just like, I think sleeping all day. But honestly, I went right back into routine. The temporaries were great to me. I had no problems with chipping, no problems with it coming out, nothing. It was just like, I was excited to actually see what my actual teeth would look like, because the temporaries look so good. And to think that they're not individual teeth is like mind blowing to me. It's like this piece of plastic they just molded to look like teeth was so good. And the temporaries look so good. So I was like in shock. I was like, oh my God, I love this. I'm so happy I did this. Like, I am so happy that it's like, I never imagined that I could just like have a good smile. Like I always imagined that this was just gonna be something that I was just gonna have to just like deal with. And then going to the dentist was always gonna be a headache because they're like, you have crowding, you have buildup, you have all these things. I'm like, stop telling me that, or you're at risk for cavities or whatever. Like it was always a constant thing. And like now I don't have to think about that. Temporaries lasted. I traveled with my temporaries. Listen, we were worldwide with the temporaries. We were going all over the place. We went to Atlanta, we went to a couple other places. I don't know. The things treated me well, okay? The day after my surgery, I went back in again just to make sure that my bite felt right. So they wanted to double check, do you feel comfortable with your bite? Is there anything that we need to adjust? Because I need to scan you again to make your permanent veneers in wherever they send them to. I just had a little bit of one side felt a little bit off. They shaved it down a little bit. And he's like, all right, great. We're gonna scan your teeth. We're gonna start getting your permanent veneers made. So I waited about 2.5 weeks before I went in for my permanent veneers. Honestly, great time. Loved it. Was showing off my smile everywhere. Then I went in for my permanent veneers. Hi YouTube. Today is the day that we get our permanent veneers. I am very excited. We just did some morning worship, as you can see. So, you know, we're completely surrounded by God. And getting my good luck wishes from my hubby. So I feel great. I feel great. I feel splendid. I'm ready to nail it. Let's get these permanent individual teeth because this is just one unit. And I'm glad I didn't break any, which means I was nice on my teeth, which means my veneers probably will do really well because these did really well and these are plastic. So I'm excited. I love you, babe.
Love you too. You be safe.
All right, let's get in there. Same situation. Went in. I want to go down again. I don't want to see my gremlin teeth. I don't want to know what's going on. I just want to wake up and be good. So I did this whole same thing. Took the little pill, thing went over my nose. But this time, y'all, I was fighting it. I was chipper that day. When I have energy in me, it's really hard to put me down in general. Sleeping pills, all I said, don't really work for me. So I was literally just sitting there. A lady comes in, she's like, you good? And I was like, yeah, I'm good, sis. And she was like, I was like, but I can't sleep. She's like, and then she came back in, you good? I was like, still awake. She's like, we're gonna give you another one of these little pills. Cause I was like not going down. Then she gave me the pill. I just remember seeing some country music bands on the TV screen and then boom, gone. Okay, this time my husband didn't pick me up. This time Sade picked me up. I just remember like being strolled out in my little, they put me in like a little wheelchair, you know, because they just want to make you comfortable. So they strolled me out there and I just see like her waving and I just got in the car and then I just think I remember saying like, okay, I'm gonna take a nap now. And I just passed out again. Came home, same thing, was fine that night. And honestly, going into my permanent, no problem. So I've had my permanents now for 2 weeks. I'm back to normal, biting into all the things. I feel so comfortable. They look so good. I can't believe it. And I only got my bottoms done. I'm very happy with my top teeth. I've never had a complaint about them. It was just my bottoms not matching the same energy. So now I'm glad that they're both like in sync. They're vibing with each other. If you're thinking about veneers, I would say try Invisalign first because I do highly recommend to anyone, if you can go the natural route when it comes to any procedure, then do that. Like if you can keep what you already naturally have going on, then do that. Because the reality is, yes, I have these veneers, but now it's upkeep. Getting veneers is not a one-time fee. The reality is I will be spending money on my bottom teeth probably for the rest of my life. And I'm not even gonna say that slightly. If you are going to invest in these teeth, know that you have to invest to upkeep these teeth. If there's a crack or one of them falls out, I'm spending close to $1,000 per tooth. So it's not something to think about short term. It's something to think about long term. Are you willing to invest in your teeth long term? If you are not, then you better stick with your Invisalign, girl, because this price tag over my teeth is never going away. I'm not saying something's gonna happen to them tomorrow. Hopefully nothing happens to them for a long time, but in my lifespan, I will be paying a check for one of these veneers at some point. So I would just say, think about your investment, make sure that it's right for you, make sure that this is not something where you've scraped your money to go and buy veneers and you can't afford to upkeep them later. If you're thinking about veneers, think about long-term, don't think about short-term. This is not a short-term procedure. Again, if you can go the natural route, sis, please just do it. It wasn't for me, but it's definitely the first thing you should try when it comes to any teeth thing. If you can stick with your natural teeth and they can make something work for you, I highly suggest it. But at the end of the day, whatever procedure you get, it don't matter what it is for you. So you gotta have this conversation with yourself. All I can do is really share my story with y'all and hope that it helps you bring clarity. And I wanna be real about it because, again, I don't think people need to go and just get things done to get things done. Like, I've had this conversation with myself. And I remember when I first like signed to get the veneers, I was like, oh my God, are you doing this? Like, I even had a little bit of like, oh girl, if this goes wrong, there's no going back. Once they shave your teeth, you can't grow teeth back, you know? So I do remember having like a little bit of like, are we really pulling the trigger on this? You sure you don't want to just go back to your Invisalign? But I'm happy. I'm so happy with the turnout. I still can't believe like this is my smile. I remember like the first couple videos I recorded it with like my mouth being like this. And I was just like, oh my God. Like I couldn't stop looking at it because I was like, oh my God. Like, does it look weird? Because at first it looks weird because it's like, you're not used to it. So you're like, does it look weird? But people don't even know. Like half the people don't even know I did it, which is why I'm so happy I did it. Because the whole goal wasn't for me to flex with my new teeth. The goal was just for me to be comfortable. And so people don't even know that I got this thing, and that's the goal. I don't want to look different. I just didn't want to have this thing looming over me. I still want to be myself. I'm not trying to change something about me, but I just didn't want to feel this like looming thing always following me, always being brought up, always being a situation that I'm like, I gotta deal with this. Ask all the questions down below. I feel like this isn't a video that's just gonna go and then be done. I feel like this is gonna be an ongoing conversation. I promise if I get anything that I have to update or have any problems, I'm gonna update you guys and keep it 100% real. Because if I can help you with your journey when it comes to this, I 100% will. And I'm so glad I got the confidence to like talk about this. Because for a while I was like, do I even want to bring this to the internet? I'm not doing it for them. But then I'm like, no, Tanya, your job is to be a resource. Your job is to help your people. And so I hope this video was extremely helpful. Let me know if you have any questions down in the comment box. Your girl's an open book. And yes, I love my new smile. The before and afters are absolutely crazy. And Dr. Marvin Belin, if you're in Dallas, I highly suggest that you go and see him. He will take care of you. He's been doing veneers for years. This guy literally knows veneers like the back. That's all he does. That's all he does now. He's not even like a dentist no more, nothing. He just does veneers all day, every day. He's seen all kinds of different cases and he was so patient with me. And I love the fact that when I first went and saw him, he literally said, you don't need veneers, you need Invisalign. That to me was very trusting because veneers are way more expensive. He's gonna make way more money off of veneers than he is off of Invisalign. So for him to tell me like, you actually don't need veneers just makes me have a lot of trust because, you know, you're always worried like, are someone just looking for a check from me? Is someone just looking for money? And like, he gave me the best advice and he let me take time with my journey and didn't push me or anything. I pushed him for veneers. I was like, I'm ready to go this route. So if you're looking for someone in Dallas that can like really help you navigate it, highly suggest him being the best point of contact, and I'll put all of his information down below. Glad that we were able to have this heart to heart. I'm so happy that I did it. If you guys want more videos or anything, make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll be back, baby. Tanya Tuesdays. See you there.